Hello, welcome to the channel. I have the Beswin VR G2, if we can take a closer look at the label, controller grips and knuckle strap. So this is for the Quest 2, but yeah, you can just see it's also for the HP Reverb G2, so these will be compatible with both controllers. That's what it says on there. So I don't have the Reverb G2 controllers, but I do have the Quest 2 controllers, so we will take a look at this. Let's put this out of the way, you don't need to see that. So I have fitted them. It's quite a novel idea actually for knuckle straps. As you can see, there is no like silicone cover like you would expect when you have these third-party knuckle straps, and it uses your original covers from your controllers. So just slip it off and I'll just show you how this works. And you can see they are stuck on the inside, and then we have this on the outside, effectively the knuckle strap. So a close up at the stickers, you get two sets, so basically you get basically two sets for each side, because they are slightly different shaped to make sure it fits with the on the inside of the cover here. And just take a close look at this. So that's a metal ring there and a sticky pad there, and you can just see how that works. So pretty simple stuff, and there you go. So let's just put this on. So a slightly different style of sticker for each side because of the design, the kind of the area it needs to stick into. So I've been using these for a week, and I have to say they have worked just fine. You can just see how it fits on there, guys, on both my hands. And yeah, as knuckle straps, they are perfectly good. So one thing you may be a bit concerned about, the fact all the weight of this is holding on to, the controller case, the cover. And of course, the cover itself is held on to your controller using these two little tabs there, but I found it to be fine. One thing I guess I was a little bit wary of is, as a possibility, what may happen is it kind of coming off while you're playing. It didn't actually happen, and I played a bunch of games and it was absolutely fine. So when you obviously hold the controllers, you're going to have some sort of like grasp over the controller itself, and I found that to be absolutely fine. There's no problem with that. If you were to maybe throw your hand like that, then yes, there's a possibility that will break free and your controller will be at the other side of the room smashing against the wall. Of course, you can use, the wrist straps here. You can still get to the, you can use the original wrist straps that you get with your Quest 2 for extra sort of protection, and that would obviously get rid of that issue. So the other thing you can try, which I did also try, is if you just get a little bit of tape and just put it on there. I found that does add enough friction where you can't take the cover off. So if you are worried and when you're using these that maybe someone is maybe a bit less careless and it could maybe come free, then you can, like I said, use a little bit of tape, and that works. But I found I didn't need to use it, and I've used these for a week. And the reason why I used these for a week before giving you my verdict on the review was just to test the durability. So a couple of things we need to obviously look at in durability is whether or not the sticky pads are sufficiently strong enough to hold onto the controller, and they haven't slipped. There's been no problems with that. Also, they have stood up to some degree. I guess when we can look at it, actually, if we look at that, there's a little bit of wear. If I can try and get in there, hopefully I can show you. There's a little bit of fraying on the edge of here. So the material these are made of is I think it's like nylon. So it's a stitched material. So it's not like a plastic, and they are tough. They do not stretch. So they're actually fine on there. But yeah, so under about a week's worth of use, they have frayed a little bit. How that'll stand up over a longer period, I don't know. Because one thing to bear in mind is, and it's on that side as well, a tiny bit. Let's see if I can show you some of the frayed edges, and you can just see it there. So on the top it's fine because it remains very sort of straight. But the bottom bit is the one which, when you're kind of moving your hand around, I tend to find is the one that's getting the stress. So that's twisting, you know, around a little bit. The top one is going to be absolutely fine. So it does move around a little bit. So over time, I don't know if we, you know, if we were to accelerate this over, you know, 2 months, 3 months, would there be an issue with that material breaking free and kind of just basically wearing down? I don't know, but they have stood up for over a week, and they are, you know, strong, you know, nylon material. So I would hope, at least from what we can see here, that that sort of stops and it sort of like settles and there's no more problems with that, you know, sort of like tearing, you know, down. It's not going to tear. I mean, I can tell you cannot tear these because it is really, they are, you know, I'm putting about as much pressure I can into that, and they're fine. One thing to bear in mind is I have reviewed these previously, and off the back of my original review, Beswin VR did update the product. So these are the new ones, and at the time of making this video and releasing it, this may not be quite on sale yet, because the first video I had showing this product, which is no longer online, and the reason for that is I don't want to confuse anyone with having 2 videos showing the same products. But I'm going to briefly bring in the old version of these. So these effectively, you know, these things, but basically the earlier version. And there is a difference here, because in my first video, these things basically fell to pieces. They did not hold on properly over the loop here. And what the issue was, partly because it's actually a different material as well. This is certainly a more flexible material, but it held up in that sense, and it was certainly sticky enough. But the loop holding, you know, this loop on there was really basically terrible. And if I show you, so yeah, this is the old one. I'll just bring it up, and you can just see really this bit here, that's how much is holding this loop in place. That tiny bit there, that just bit of overlap. So if we bring in the new ones, massively upgraded, you can see you've got this huge piece now, and the difference is basically substantial. So there's no problem with these breaking free off these tabs, but the original ones were pretty terrible. And within a day, I basically broke 3 of these tabs on here. Just testing it normally. I didn't try and put it for any extra stress, but I just used them normally, and they basically all failed, and that really worried Beswin VR. And they have now updated them with these ones, which are, you know, much better. So, and the only thing I guess I would say is, as we saw, you know, you could see there was a tiny bit of fraying on the bottom ones, in that sort of location there, just in that bit where it sort of twists around. Yes, I don't know how long, you know, if it is a kind of long-term problem, if they would break free. You do get 2 sets, as I said, so you can replace them. Hopefully it's something which does stand up to the test of time, but obviously I don't know. This has been about a week of testing, and they certainly have lasted up to that point and are working just fine. So I'm kind of thinking of reasons why you might think of getting controller covers, you know, knuckle covers like this over like a silicone one, and potentially, I guess, if you have a sensitivity, if you're like an allergy to silicone, which some people do, then obviously these are non-silicone. And the other thing is, you may like the smooth feel of the controllers, and you don't want to bulk it out with a little bit of silicone cover, even though silicone covers don't really make it any more bulky in that much of a sense. They add just 2-3 more millimeters to the actual bulk of the controller, but you may prefer this. And of course you can get to the battery cover really easy, you know, simply by kind of removing it that way. So it does add a little bit of convenience. The other thing which I realized actually, which I didn't think about at the time, and I was using them earlier on, I was thinking, why is this thing so thick? Why have you got such a big thing? When you look at other knuckle covers, and they are generally just a small strip, you know. But I realised what the deal was, and I can see actually a benefit to these, because you can see they are very cushioned. If I bring another one in, I should have another one around, which is not on here, so we can check it out. So these, so yeah, basically the same from the first version, but still got the thing wraps on there from the first versions of these. So I'll just get out of the way. But basically they're really cushioned, and you can just see they are actually foam, and they are very well protective on your knuckles. And if you are someone who is likely to be smashing stuff around you on, you know, walls or shelves or anything like that, they actually are very well cushioned. They do protect your knuckles because they give you a lot of coverage. You know, they're very soft and they have a good amount of coverage literally over the part. If you're going to hit something with your hand, this will protect your hand, and they do work. So they are, you know, they're very let me just see this, they are very, you know, nice and cushioned, very soft, and they will protect your hands. And I think that's one reason you might want these, because where other knuckle kind of covers are there to kind of give you extra security so you don't drop the controllers, and they do that, but these actually add protection, so you can just see how much coverage you get. And yeah, it's enough where any critical part of your hand, when you're going to smash something, if you are going to reach out and punch into something, then you will be protected on your knuckle. So that makes a big difference. I think that's kind of a nice feature. So yeah, it's not a, you know, it's not as weird as it may seem. It's actually a very good feature of these knuckle straps. And there you go. And oh yeah, I should show you actually. You do adjust them. You can see, which I forgot to, because since I have reviewed these before, I forgot to show you all the features, didn't I? So let's just take this off anyway, just so you can just see what it looks like without it. So that is how it obviously looks without the knuckle strap on here. And what we do to get it on is you obviously just put it through the loop, and that's you can see it's sort of Velcro sort of style stuff, and it is stretchy. I'm sure I should have showed this at the top of the video, shouldn't I? But I've gone this far into the video, I don't want to do a do-over, so I'll just show you all the features now. So of course, just to adjust it, you simply just attach it on there, and it's like that. And it's sort of, like I said, it's got a bit of flexibility there, because this is a because the strap is not, it's got some elasticity in there. That's the word I was thinking. I couldn't think of the words, guys. Sorry about that. And there you go. Yeah, so it's very comfortable to use. They do a good job in a sense of like any knuckle strap, and because you can have a little bit of flexibility, it doesn't get in the way of your, you know, movements of when you want to move your hands, and it does what it needs to do, which is allow the controllers to be fairly free in your hands, and you know you're not likely to drop them because you have this extra kind of protection. You know, just a light amount of grip is going to keep them in your hands. You know, so yeah, you're not going to, you know, you're not going to drop them using these controller covers, and like as I said, you get the extra protection over your knuckles. So if you were to hit something, you're not going to be hurting yourself, which is obviously very, very good. Anyway, guys, there you go. So that is the review for the Beswin RG2 knuckle straps. Hope you found that useful. Drop comments below the video, of course, and don't forget, I'll be back soon with something new. So until next time, take care and bye-bye.